Jeff Bradford is the president of Human Coalition, a nonprofit organization committed to protecting life. His group is gearing up for an official decision in the Dobbs case, which most pro-lifers pray will be the end of Roe v. Wade. Human Coalition is forming partnerships with state governments and local pregnancy centers to connect women with supportive services in an initiative to help them choose life. Their comprehensive rescue system is designed to help connect expecting mothers with everything they need: a job, housing, educational services, baby clothes, diapers, and more. Bradford says the pro-life movement should be working to reach out to women now to give them real alternatives. And joining me now is Jeff Bradford himself, president of Human Coalition. Jeff, thanks for joining me. We are currently waiting for a final decision in the Dobbs case. What could life after Roe possibly look like, and how is your organization, Human Coalition, working to help expecting mothers?
Well, Prudence, thanks for having me on this today. We're excited to be here. It's a great question. You know, Human Coalition is one of the largest pro-life, pro-woman organizations in the country, really working both at the service level, working to serve women right where they're at, vulnerable women who need help, but also working, as you mentioned, in the legislative side and working to help laws that really move the needle for our clients. And so a post-Roe world, we have to be there ready to serve vulnerable women in all populations. We need to be the hands and feet of Christ. And that means all of us getting together to work together, working with churches, working with the pro-life movement, and working alongside these women who are just looking for somebody to help them from dependence to independence. And so I'm excited. There's a lot of great organizations out there, 2,700 pregnancy centers and other life-affirming organizations that are doing a great job, ready to serve these women.
And I'm interested in the fact that you all aim to be active in what you call key abortion-dense cities. So how do you identify these areas and minister to people who are really pretty probably abortion-minded?
Yeah, we're actually able to look at where abortion density is by zip code. And unfortunately, it is in more of the minority, lower socioeconomic areas across the states. And so we're working with churches like Kojic, the Church of God in Christ, who has said that they would help women who would abort and adopt children. They are pro-life church. And so we're working hand in hand in those communities to really provide those tangible services and lock arms with churches across the country. And so we need to be there in those more vulnerable areas. And so we want to make sure as Human Coalition, we're actually working in those areas.
That's wonderful. And can you tell me a little bit more, some of the details about this comprehensive rescue system that you all have designed?
Well, we're helping build a unified national rescue system. So if you think of just the ecosystem that exists in the pro-life movement, there's thousands of organizations that do a great job. Human Coalition really helps quarterback that and puts together really the infrastructure. And if you look at a state-by-state plan, we utilize telecare, which a lot of us, utilized during the pandemic to be able to reach women right where they're at and bring them into a system of care, and then provide holistic and comprehensive care with thousands of organizations. In fact, we have 7,000 resource partners that we can bring to bear through our social workers who put a plan of healing together for her. And so we understand her individual situation and really why she thinks she has to abort. And we begin solving those problems for her and really coming alongside her and locking arms with her and walking through this healing plan with her, with the ultimate goal of bridging her back to her faith community.
And that individual connection with women is so important. Can you share with us, Jeff, your personal story and how you decided to work at Human Coalition?
Well, Prudence, I sold my company in 2010 and was doing consulting work. And the two co-founders of what is now Human Coalition had hired my consulting firm and myself. And after getting to know them, one day they handed me their card and said, "Hey, we save babies using the internet and science and data and technology." What they didn't know is that same week, my wife and I were in Christian counseling. We'd helped start a church and it split around 2010. And we just felt like we needed a tune-up. We felt like we had really just ministered to everyone else and we had neglected our own marriage. But when we closed the door to that office, my wife began to cry uncontrollably. And I thought, gosh, our marriage is in worse shape than I thought, or something was really underneath those tears. And as we peeled those back, it came down to a decision she and I made almost 30 years ago. During our engagement, we got pregnant and went to my father, who's a Christian man and a good man, but got some really bad advice. And we ended up at Planned Parenthood. And we took the life of our first daughter. And we didn't talk about it for 17 years. We felt like it was the unforgivable sin. Our pastor didn't talk about it. We as leaders in the church didn't talk about it, and felt like that it just was something that you didn't discuss. And so that was the first time for me that God really dropped the scales from my eyes as a Christian husband and man, really the devastation that it caused my wife and myself for those 17 years that we just covered this up. And it wasn't until this opportunity that God really began to see of how you can combine really all the things that we learned in our business acumen into a ministry of help and hope for women and children and families. And so it's been the most incredible thing that I've ever done. I am incredibly grateful to serve in this role within an amazing organization that helps women, helps them with help and hope to become a flourishing mom. And we're so excited to be a part of it. We're going to celebrate when Roe v. Wade is overturned, but we're going to get right back to work.
Jeff, your witness is so beautiful. Clearly, it points to a gap in the church that needs to be filled, and you're filling it. So thank you for the work that you do at Human Coalition. Jeff Bradford.
Thank you.